Close your eyes for a moment and think about the last time you walked into a room and everyone turned to look. Not because of what you were wearing, not because you said something loud, but because something about your presence demanded attention. That's sexual energy. And before you skip ahead thinking this is about seduction or attraction, stop. Because what I'm about to share with you will fundamentally change how you understand power, creativity, success, and the life you're building right now. Most people go their entire lives never understanding that sexual energy isn't just about sex. It's the raw, creative, magnetic force that runs through everything you do. It's in how you speak, how you create, how you earn, how you heal, how you show up in the world. Carl Jung called it libido, but not in the way Freud meant it. For Jung, this wasn't just about physical desire. It was about life force itself, the energy that makes you want to create, to build, to express, to become. And here's what nobody tells you. When you learn to channel this energy consciously, everything changes. Your relationships deepen. Your work becomes magnetic. Your confidence becomes unshakable. Your body heals faster. Your mind sharpens. Your entire reality reshapes itself around the frequency you're broadcasting. I've spent years studying Jung's work on psychic energy, and I've seen this transformation in my own life and in the lives of countless others. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 specific ways your sexual energy, your life force, transforms everything. And I promise you, by the end of this, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. Let's begin. The first way sexual energy changes everything is through presence. Jung believed that libido, this psychic energy, manifests first in how we occupy space. Not physical space, but psychological space. The room you take up in other people's awareness. Think about someone you know who has this quality. They don't talk the loudest. They don't perform. But when they enter a room, something shifts. The air changes. Conversations pause. Eyes follow. That's not charisma training. That's not body language tricks. That's sexual energy in its purest form. Contained, conscious, radiating outward. Here's what happens neurologically when your sexual energy is integrated and flowing. Not repressed, not scattered, but channeled. Your nervous system settles into a state of calm power. Your body language naturally opens. Your voice drops into deeper, more resonant tones. Your eye contact becomes steady without being aggressive. Other people's mirror neurons pick this up instantly. They sense safety and strength simultaneously. It triggers an unconscious response. This person knows who they are. Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming whole. And sexual energy is the fuel. When you repress this energy, when you shame it, suppress it, or pretend it doesn't exist, it doesn't disappear. It goes underground. It becomes anxiety, scattered thoughts, nervous habits, people-pleasing, over-explaining. But when you acknowledge it, honor it, and consciously direct it, not into compulsive behavior, but into purposeful presence, you become magnetic without effort. I remember the exact moment I understood this. I was in a meeting, completely centered in my body, not performing, not trying to impress anyone, just present, grounded. And I watched how the energy in the room reorganized itself around that stillness. People listened differently. They leaned in. They remembered what I said. That's not power over anyone. That's power with yourself. And it starts with one simple practice. Before you enter any space, a meeting, a date, a difficult conversation, take 60 seconds. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your breath moving through your belly. Feel the hum of aliveness in your body. That hum, that's your sexual energy. And when you bring it consciously into the room, everything changes. The second way sexual energy transforms your life is through creativity. And I don't just mean painting or writing. I mean the ability to bring something into existence that didn't exist before. A business, a solution, a vision, a life. Jung saw sexual energy and creative energy as the same force, just directed differently. He called it sublimation, not in the Freudian sense of repression, but in the alchemical sense of transformation. Alchemists believed you could take base material and transform it into gold. Jung applied that metaphor to the psyche. You take raw sexual energy, this powerful, primal force, and you transmute it into creative output. Every artist, entrepreneur, innovator, and builder knows this intuitively. There's a reason why so many creators report periods of intense creative output correlating with periods of high sexual energy. It's the same fire, When you're deeply connected to your sexual energy, you have access to a wellspring of creative force that doesn't run dry. Ideas come faster. Solutions appear. You have stamina for the long projects that other people abandon. But here's the contrast most people miss. If you're constantly dispersing your sexual energy through compulsive consumption, mindless scrolling, shallow connections, or unconscious release, you're draining the reservoir that fuels your creative work. Jung warned about this. He said that when libido is scattered, the psyche becomes fragmented. You lose focus. You lose drive. You lose the capacity to see a vision through to completion. But when you contain that energy, when you become conscious of it, when you choose where it goes, you become a creator in the truest sense. I've watched this pattern repeat in my own work. The projects that succeeded, the writing that resonated, the ideas that actually manifested, they all came from periods when I was deeply connected to my body, my aliveness, my sexual energy, and consciously channeling it into creation, not suppressing it, not indulging it mindlessly, channeling it. There's an old Taoist practice called sexual energy cultivation that teaches this exact principle. The same energy that creates life externally can be redirected to create life internally. New skills, new projects, new versions of yourself. Jung would say you're feeding your anima or animus, the creative, soul-level aspects of your psyche, with the very energy that wants to express itself. So here's the practice. The next time you feel that surge of energy, that restless, alive, wanting to create feeling, don't immediately discharge it. Sit with it. Let it build. Then direct it consciously into something you're building. Watch what you create when you do. The third transformation is confidence, but not the kind you fake until you make it. Not the kind you borrow from affirmations or power poses. This is the confidence that comes from being fully alive in your own body, from knowing at a cellular level that you are a force of nature. Jung talked about the shadow, the parts of ourselves we reject, deny, or hide. And for most people, sexual energy lives in the shadow. We're taught it's dirty, dangerous, something to control or be ashamed of. But when you integrate your shadow, when you bring your sexual energy into conscious awareness and accept it as part of your wholeness, something profound happens. You stop seeking validation outside yourself. Think about it. Most insecurity comes from disconnection. Disconnection from your body, from your instincts, from your aliveness. When you're connected to your sexual energy, you're connected to the part of yourself that doesn't need permission to exist. The part that knows its own value without needing someone else to confirm it. This is the difference between confidence that crumbles under criticism and confidence that remains steady no matter what the room thinks. I see this in people who've done the work. They don't perform confidence. They don't need to prove anything. They simply are grounded, present, secure in themselves. Jung called this standing in your own truth. And sexual energy is the root system that keeps you anchored there. When you repress or shame this energy, you become dependent on external validation to feel worthy. You need the compliment, the like, the approval, the promotion to feel okay about yourself. But when you own this energy and integrate it as part of your whole self, you become internally referenced. You know your worth because you feel your aliveness. Here's a question to sit with. When was the last time you felt fully alive in your body without needing anything from anyone else? That feeling, that's your sexual energy in its purest form. And the more you cultivate it, the more unshakable you become. If this is resonating with you, drop a comment below. I want to hear how you're experiencing this shift in your own life. The fourth way sexual energy changes everything is through relationships. And this might be the most misunderstood piece. Most people think sexual energy in relationships is only about physical attraction or chemistry. But Jung saw it differently. He understood that sexual energy is the bonding force, the magnetism that creates depth, intimacy, and true connection. When you're disconnected from your own sexual energy, you show up in relationships from a place of lack. You're seeking someone to make you feel alive, attractive, worthy, whole. But when you're connected to your sexual energy, when you've cultivated that aliveness within yourself, you show up full. You're not looking for someone to complete you. You're looking for someone to share completeness with. This changes everything. You stop attracting relationships based on need and start attracting relationships based on resonance. You stop settling for crumbs of attention because you know the fullness you carry within yourself. Jung talked about projection, how we project our unlived parts onto others and then fall in love with our own projections. The anima and animus, he called them. The inner feminine and masculine that we often see reflected in our partners. But when you integrate your sexual energy, when you embody both your masculine and feminine aspects within yourself, you stop needing your partner to carry those projections. You can be both strong and soft, both receiving and giving, both grounded and flowing, and that integration makes you wildly attractive. Not because you're performing, but because you're whole. I've seen this transformation in my own relationships. The moment I stopped looking for someone to make me feel alive and started cultivating that aliveness within myself, everything shifted. The people I attracted were different, more conscious, more present, more capable of real intimacy. The relationships themselves deepened. Instead of needing constant reassurance, there was space for actual connection. Instead of game playing and testing, there was honesty and vulnerability. Sexual energy, when it's integrated, doesn't create codependency. It creates polarity, the magnetic dance between two whole people who choose each other, not need each other. Here's the contrast. A relationship built on disconnected sexual energy feels consuming, obsessive, unstable. It's all highs and lows, drama and intensity, craving and withdrawal. But a relationship built on integrated sexual energy feels nourishing, stable, deepening. It's passion without possession, desire without desperation, intimacy without enmeshment. So ask yourself, are my relationships draining my energy or amplifying it? If they're draining it, that's your signal. It's time to come home to your own aliveness first. The fifth transformation is abundance. And I'm not talking about vision boards or manifestation fantasies. I'm talking about the actual energetic frequency that attracts resources, opportunities, and wealth into your life. Jung understood that sexual energy is creative energy, is life force energy. And that same energy governs how you generate value, how you receive, and how you allow abundance to flow through your life. Think about the most successful people you know, the ones who don't just grind themselves into burnout, but who seem to create effortlessly, attract opportunity, and generate wealth as a natural byproduct of their presence. They're tapped into this energy. Here's what happens energetically. When your sexual energy is flowing, not blocked by shame, not scattered by compulsion, not deadened by repression, you become a generative force. You create value naturally. You see opportunities others miss. You have the stamina and focus to execute on your vision. But there's a deeper layer. Jung talked about the principle of psychic energy. That energy flows from high concentration to low concentration, always seeking balance. When you're full of life force energy, when you're overflowing with aliveness, that energy naturally expresses itself in generative ways. You create, you build, you serve, you solve problems, and abundance follows. But when you're disconnected from your sexual energy, you operate from scarcity, from fear, from a sense of not enoughness. And that frequency repels the very abundance you're seeking. I've seen this pattern over and over. People who are deeply embodied, who honor their aliveness, who have integrated their sexual energy as part of their wholeness, they don't chase money. Money chases them. Not because they're manipulating energy or doing magic, but because they're operating from a place of fullness, and fullness attracts. The contrast is this. People disconnected from their sexual energy work hard but stay stuck. They hustle but don't prosper. They give and give but never receive. Because energetically, they're operating from a depleted place. But people who've integrated this energy work from flow. They create from overflow. They give from abundance, and abundance returns. Jung also understood the relationship between sexual energy and power, not power over others, but personal power. The capacity to influence reality, to create change, to make things happen. When you're connected to your sexual energy, you're connected to your will, your agency, your ability to take action and see results. This is why so many spiritual traditions teach practices around sexual energy cultivation. Not to suppress desire, but to harness the same energy that creates life and redirect it toward creating the life you want. Here's the practice. Start paying attention to your energy levels. Notice when you feel most alive, most creative, most generative. Notice what depletes you and what fills you. Then make conscious choices to protect and cultivate your energy like the precious resource it is. Because when you honor your sexual energy, abundance stops being something you chase and starts being something you embody. So let's bring this full circle. We've walked through 5 transformations: presence, creativity, confidence, relationships, and abundance. But here's what Jung understood that most people miss. These aren't separate things. They're all expressions of the same force. Your sexual energy, your life force, is the thread that runs through every area of your life. When it's integrated, when it's flowing, when it's honored, everything elevates. You walk into rooms differently. You create differently. You relate differently. You earn differently. You live differently. This is what individuation looks like in practice. Not some abstract psychological concept, but the lived experience of becoming whole. And wholeness isn't about perfection. It's about integration. It's about bringing the rejected, shamed, hidden parts of yourself, including your sexual energy, into conscious awareness and saying, "This is me. This is my power. This is my aliveness." Jung warned that when we reject any part of ourselves, we give away our power. We fragment. We lose access to our full potential. But when we integrate, when we say yes to all of who we are, we become unstoppable. Not because we're forcing anything, but because we're finally working with the full force of our nature instead of against it. I've watched this transformation in my own life. The moment I stopped treating my sexual energy as something separate, something to manage or control or be ashamed of, and started honoring it as the creative, magnetic, life-giving force it is, everything changed. My work deepened. My relationships became real. My confidence became unshakable. My presence became undeniable. Abundance started flowing in ways I couldn't have orchestrated, and none of it required performing or pretending or pushing. It just required coming home to myself. Fully. Completely. Without apology. That's the invitation for you. Not to become someone else, but to become fully, unapologetically yourself. To integrate every part of you, including the powerful, alive, sexual energy that's been there all along. So here's what I want you to do. Right now, place your hand on your heart. Feel your breath. Feel the aliveness in your body. That pulse, that warmth, that hum of energy, that's your power. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to prove it. You just need to honor it. Start small. Start today. Before you enter any space, any conversation, any project, pause. Connect to your body. Feel your aliveness. Bring that energy consciously into what you're creating. Watch how the world responds. If this resonated with you, if you're ready to step into this transformation, let me know in the comments. Share your biggest takeaway. Tell me which of these 5 transformations you're ready to embody first, because when you claim your sexual energy, you claim your life, and the world needs you fully alive. Let's rise together.